TIL that Ernest Hemingway, in order to assure F Scott Fitzgerald about his penis size, personally examined it in a bathroom and confirmed the genitalia to be of average proportions. Left out the part where his evil kind of a wife Zelda told him that he would never be able to please a woman. I believe what she told him was that it was a matter of measurements, or something very close to that, hence his anxiety. Highly recommend Hemingway's A Movable Feast, about his time in Paris. Lots of little anecdotes like this. One of my faves, I remember in college we would compare and examine each other penises in our house we lived in. I remember the chicks we'd bring by were weirded out by it, but we were so straight we didn't even think anything of seeing each other naked or massaging each other naked or having sex with each other naked. A lot of people in this thread are taking this anecdote as truth when it was most likely just a drunk Hemingway low-key talking shit about F. Scott. The only source of this story is Hemingway's completely true autobiographical A Movable Feast. Even Papa himself admitted that book was fiction. Was he really just examining it to assure him? Cause this reminded me of how historians will say things like how two historical people in history were just close friends or just roommates, but turns out they were actually a gay couple. Well, I'm sure Z was out there getting every size and shape of penis she could find, hence our poor lad F. Scott's insecurities. Granted, many men have such insecurities regardless of the sexual frivolity of their partner. I mean, these men in particular were wasted all the time, so this sounds about right. I can imagine them 4 drinks in, with Hemingway suggesting, I could just look at it right now, this bar has a bathroom. The cartoonist Rube Goldberg was pals with F. Scott at a bar. Scott passed out, so Goldberg and his friends dragged him to a barbershop and had the barber shave off all the hair from half of his head. It took place in a cafe bathroom. The cafe is still there, on the corner of Rue des Saints-Père and Rue Jacob, but it has a different name now. Edit: this is obviously in Paris. Hemingway was in 2 plane crashes in 2 days. This has no bearing on the story. I just think it's interesting. Also, I think he got set on fire before the first plane. The average size of an erection is 4.6 inches, 5.16 being the more specific average. In case you want to check yourself out without the help of a friend. Unless there is a video proving this happened, then it never happened. The ability to post an incident on TikTok is the standard of proof for all things. I feel like Ernest examining F. Scott's penis size once in the bathroom might be being brothers, but like by the 5th or 6th time Ernest had to know something was up. How the heck would Hemingway know the average length at the time? Was he going around between books measuring genitals as like a side hustle? I mean, we joke, but this does sound like the most sound method of determining this back in the day. It's not like you could Google the average. No amount of fire or freshness can challenge what a man will store up in his ghostly heart. Or his average size penis. The Great Gatsby. I finished The Beautiful and Damned last week. I recommend it. Some of the writing is difficult, but it's a brilliant study of alcoholism. It probably wasn't the first penis exam for Hemingway. The man was conflicted. He had to prove he was the manliest of all men, but just want to say this story comes exclusively from Hemingway's memoirs and he was kind of a hater. Absolute badass, but a hater. Put this on the back of the cover of his books. One of the most average phalluses I have ever seen. Ernest Hemingway. Hemingway is said to have attempted same with Kurt Vonnegut, whom Hemingway described as a monolith of man flesh. Sure wish my English teacher had taught us that. Probably would have had a lot more students paying attention. History books: he has an average dick, the loser. Ernest Hemingway. Ernest Hemingway 1937 gawk gawk. Also, honestly, his remarks about it being a matter of perspective are helpful. CC A Movable Feast. Okay, I just did find on page for the word penis and nothing came up. Did I just get trolled? Ol' Ernest GT, such penis envy. He grabbed the shot that may be too dark for the audience. Ernest Hemingway told me that my dick was average. Is something he may have said to his wife. See, if I put it in my throat it touches my uvula, it's at least 5 inches, pal, don't feel bad. Nice to know reality played out the same way as my Hemingway Fitzgerald yaoi fanfiction. Sometimes you just need to assure a bro of your penis size. We've all been there. I don't get it, did they say he had a magnum dong but it was normal? I'm confused. If only Willem Dafoe were there to show them the meaning of the word swaffelen. This is the American history they should be teaching. Not this BS Cold War shit. Have you seen Midnight in Paris? Fun movie partially about that period. I've seen a lot of cock over the years. This one is definitely average. Is Mr. Hemingway available for another estimate? Asking for a friend. The title of this post is a sentence that is very poorly structured. Ernest had a small PP though, therefore the guns and killing stuff. So it sounds like Hemingway was saying Fitzgerald had a small dick. There was an homage scene in the Jonathan Ames show Bored to Death. Then they had a pissing contest. Literally speaking, of course, I prefer stories about Lyndon Johnson's baby arm over this story. This should have been the post-credit scene to Midnight in Paris. Just a bunch of silly dudes with serious drinking problems. If you believe his account, which may well be pure bullshit, I choose to believe that he's looking at it in that photo. Probably one of the earliest instances of a D-club meeting. Dude! Don't be gay! Look at my dick! FSF probably makes complete sense. Any of us would have done this. I don't remember that scene from Boone Goes Stray Dogs. TIL F Scott Fitzgerald had an average-sized wiener,